Sean Woodson and Youssef Zalal. We just touched on this fight in the intro. Both these guys bring really interesting games to the octagon, right? Sean Woodson, really tough fight against Julian Erosa, one of my favorites. That's a tough alumni, one of the most exciting fighters you'll ever watch. Doesn't matter what fight he's in. I think that was one where that was a huge learning lesson for Woodson. You know, keep playing your game, avoid those situations where someone can really take advantage of even your tiredness or your lack of cardio in really tough situations like the groundwork, things like that. I think that Youssef Zalal in this case, you know, always on his bicycle, always looking for those quick strikes, very economic striker, you know, good work up against the fence. Surprisingly, does look for a lot of the wrestling and the clinch work against the fence. What I did like about, you know, some of his showings, tough fights, right? Topuria, massive tough fight when it comes to that wrestling style. Same with Troy. I mean, Troy's looking like one of the stronger fighters in that division overall. Youssef Zalal takes him on short notice and, you know, continuously pushes the pace, takes very limited damage. I think that's what I really liked about him. That's where you just fall in love with guys like Zalal because he's why you like fighting, right? He avoids the damage. He makes it exciting. It's actually a good fighter, right? So in this one, Woodson, 40 amateur boxing fights, coming out of Glory Kickboxing with James Krause and the crew. He's got a good, he's got everything's happening in the right ways for him. And I think that in this fight, the way he's utilized the boxing in the past, great uppercuts down the middle, great knees down the middle. If he can land those types of shots, that's going to be really good for him. For me, I'm wondering where I think against the fence is a great opportunity for him. If Zalal's not finding success in beating that, you know, 6-inch reach advantage, he's going to try to push him against the fence and get this fight to the ground, working some of those his arm chokes are great. I think he has a great chance of trying to pull those off. That's how he's actually able to get up from the bottom a lot of the time against other fighters. That's where I'm hoping that he has a bit of success, right? I think he could be a bit of a favorite here, not by much. I think this is a pretty close fight overall. The thing about Woodson is the striking could be really good. Like the boxing is very crisp. He's going to be working that jab. With Zalal always on his bicycle and, you know, trying to move around, those leg kicks and that type of jab could really work in a much bigger game plan later in the fight. But again, I think this is going to be one of those economic striking fights. I don't think it's going to be a big brawl because Zalal is actually a bit smarter than that. He's not trying to take stupid amounts of damage. Thing with the guy like, you know, Woodson, where did he really impress us? You know, you look at the Bochniak fight, stuff's 14 of 15 takedowns, and the guy lands like 150 strikes. Over 100 of those strikes were significant strikes. So I really like what I see from the stand-up perspective of Sean Woodson. I think he's going to be one of the better fighters in the division overall when it comes to the stand-up game. Now this is a great test to see just how good that, you know, overall MMA style is coming in because Zalal is a great test for that. I think the striking is good. I think the clinch work up against the fence is good. I mean, he's not really showing us amazing success against some of these bigger, you know, prospects coming up right now, but this is a great fight for him to kind of, you know, think outside the box and don't just stand there and bang, which he normally doesn't. Let's take a look at the lines. I'm actually I'm a little, you know, I'm stuck on here, but I think that I'm going to give the edge to Zalal just based on MMA experience and just his ability to kind of stay in the fight. He does stay in the fight at all times. And let's take a look. All right, I mean, plus 162 dog for Zalal and minus 188 for Woodson. I'm looking at all these types of, you know, bets right now. And obviously you look at the over for minus 450 for 1.5 rounds. I mean, that's almost a surefire bet. I just don't see Zalal getting finished by Woodson, especially early. But again, if Woodson's using those uppercuts and those knees as Zalal's trying to push him closer to the fence, those are some sneaky ass blows that could really maybe put anybody on the planet out. So look out for those shots. But Zalal being a really smart fighter in there, I think if he doesn't find success on the feet pretty early, which could really end up being the case, he's going to find newer ways to try and transition this fight. So I'm excited to see all the different areas of MMA we might get to see in this fight. But yeah, man, opening lines for that one, plus 105 for Woodson, minus 125 Zalal, and it's switched. So I was on the right path originally. People are loving Woodson. So hey guys, if you're a Zalal believer and believe in that minus 125 opening line, maybe that's something you check out.